Hola, happy Tuesday or happy Taco Tuesday. So I hope everybody is having a great week so far. I hope that today was a good day for you. If it wasn't, I pray that it gets better. So let's dive right into it. Um, as always, I always start the video off by saying what's been on my spirit. And fallen angels has been on my spirit since I think last weekend. Um, I'm not going to tell you what I saw. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Last weekend, God gave me a revelation of fallen angels. The fallen angels are already mingling with the people. The fallen angels are already here. I don't know how long they've been here, but they're here. You remember the woman on the plane? The woman who screamed out. She went to the front of the plane and said, that, let's just say that thing back there is not human. She wasn't lying. She was telling the truth. And sadly, that woman got doxxed. And it was almost like they tried to chastise her for exposing that the fallen angels are amongst us. So, her, well, I'm not going to say what information is out about her, sadly, unfortunately. Um, I don't want to add more fuel to that fire, but unfortunately, that young lady did get doxxed, which I think is just totally unacceptable. Um, so I'm going to just share some of my notes with you. Fallen angels, they are demons. And what they are calling aliens, they're actually fallen angels. Aliens are demons. Aliens is just another word for demons or fallen angels. Um, so I'm going to make this video very short and sweet. I always say that. And then it ends up being longer than I anticipated. But I do plan on making this video short and sweet because I want to drop another video right after this. So, fun fact, fallen angels, they are referenced in the Bible. And, there's nothing new up under the sun. History always tends to repeat itself. The Bible is so interesting. It's such a good book. It's the best book you'll ever read, no cap. Um, Everything is in there. Just about everything is in there, including this. And actually, let's go to um, the passage in the Bible that talks about fallen angels. Give me a minute to pull that up. It is actually referenced in Genesis chapter 6, verses 4. And we're going to go to that. If you want to read it with me, go to Genesis 6. I think it's Genesis 6, verses 4. But, I like to start from verse number 1, so we can get the full context. So, increasing corruption on earth. When man began to multiply on the face of the land and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive. Sons of God referring to the angels. Let's run that back. Let's just run it back. The sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive. They were attracted to the human women. And they took as their wives any they chose. Now, how in the world did this happen? So, my question is, did these women know that these were not humans? Did these women know that they were angels and they just didn't care? Because I'm sure they had to have looked a little bit different. They had to have been taller. Well, let's just go further, but I keep questioning, did they know that they were sleeping with angels? That's different. Did they know they were sleeping with fallen angels? Then the Lord said, my spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. Now, my interpretation of this, and Lord, forgive me if I'm wrong, I'm giving you my interpretation of it. God had to shorten the lifespan of those human beings that were mingling with the angels, because angels, they don't die. So if an angel doesn't die and he sleeps with a human, then my interpretation is now God has to give that human a lifespan, because then would they live forever like the angels? Let's continue. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward when the sons of God came into the daughters, meaning they made love, came into the daughters of man, and they bore children to them. So then they had little Nephilim babies. No bueno, no bueno. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. So when the angels and the humans came together, they created mighty men because these were men mixed with angel DNA. Let's continue. Now, this really angered the Lord. It says here in verse 5, the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. Now, see, this is what brought on the flood. God was so angry that the angels were mingling with the humans that he created the flood to just start all over. He wanted to wipe out civilization and start from scratch because this was just the ultimate wickedness for him. Let's continue. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord regretted that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him to his heart. You know, I'll be like, my mind be blown in real life reading it. The Bible's very interesting. You should read it sometimes. You should. It's very interesting, as you can see. I'm shocked, appalled, and flabbergasted because an angel sleeping with a human is preposterous. They actually did this and they made babies. And this made God so angry that then he brought on the flood. Let's continue. It grieved God so bad that he regretted that he made man. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. So the Lord said, I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the land, man and animals and creeping things and birds of the heavens, for I am sorry that I have made them. Oh, that hurt my feelings. That hurt my feelings. Because for God to say that he's sorry that he made them, he was so vexed. He says, you know, I got to start over. I got to wipe them all out and just start over. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. So Noah was the only righteous man that was alive at this time. Because remember, Noah and his family and the animals that God instructed to put on that boat were the only living beings that survived the flood. Let's continue. I'm going somewhere with this. Stay with me. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Noah walked with God, and Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. Sound familiar, right? How it's filled with wickedness and violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And God said to Noah, I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. And then he gets into the specific instructions that he gave Noah regarding how he wanted him to make the boat. Now pause. I told you I'm going to make this short and sweet. People going to think you crazy. People going to think you crazy when you hear God concerning you and your family. This earth is wicked, and what's right is wrong, and what's wrong is now right. And it's very important to be able to hear God's voice for yourself, because it just may save your life. Now, what if Noah, one, couldn't hear God? Him and his family would not have made it. And they're the reason why we have civilization today, because God started over. He literally wiped the earth clean of all humans and all animals, except for the humans and animals that were on Noah's ark. What if, so we already established if he couldn't hear God, then him and his family would have not survived. They would have perished with the rest of mankind. Number 2, what if he worried about looking crazy? What if, because you know how crazy he probably looked to people? He was telling everybody, hey, a flood is coming. You know, if people say, hey, what are you doing? Well, why are you making that big boat? Oh, a flood is coming. Oh, you crazy. Child, please. Oh, ooh, a flood's coming. Ooh, sure it is. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, bud. But see, he heard God's specific instructions. He was righteous. By him being righteous, he had a relationship with God and could hear God's voice in the time of danger because danger was coming. Now you have all the Noahs, and I'm saying Noahs in regards to God's children that have a relationship with him, that can hear God, that can sense danger, and everybody think we crazy. We're literally sounding the alarm. We're on spiritual megaphone saying, hey, everybody, you know, there's danger coming. Come into the ark before things hit the fan. Give your life to Jesus before things hit the fan. It's getting iffy. We hear spiritual sirens. We hear the spiritual sirens in the spirit. We hear the tea kettles in the spirit. There is an anger burning. God is angry with all of the sin and the wickedness in the world. And so the people that have a relationship with God, the Noahs, we can hear and sense the danger, and we're telling everyone, hey, come into the ark while you can, while there's time. But they're calling us crazy. If you are a Noah and you are warning, you're trying to warn your family and your friends to come into the ark and they calling you crazy, don't worry about it, boo. Don't even worry about it. You just get your house right with the Lord. You know how the words say, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Don't worry about what they doing next door. Don't worry about what your extended family is doing. Worry about you and the people in your house. And if you living in a house with unbelievers, worry about your soul, your salvation, and having a good witness, because by you simply living your life for God, other people are watching you. They may not admit it, they may not say it, but they're watching you. And just by watching your life, it may lead them to Christ. There's a saying that goes, you may be the only Jesus that they see, that people see. So just live your life for God, and people watching you will automatically want to come to Jesus. Not all the time, but sometimes. Um, so what did we get from this? Let's give some footnotes. What we got from this is that there's nothing new up under the sun. What has happened before tends to happen again and repeat itself. There are fallen angels right now mingling with people. You know, I like to give you the receipts. I like to pull out the receipts and then show it to you like, boom. You know, this is scripture. This has happened before where the fallen angels were mingling with the people. And I'm telling you that it's happened again. I'm telling you it's happening right now. I don't know how long that they've been here. I don't know how long they've been mingling with us, but I'm telling you that they're mingling with us. And God allowed that situation to happen on that plane as a confirmation to let you know they're here. They're at the airport. They could be driving the Uber. They could be working in a school. They could be on your job. They could be a coworker. Look, I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. But as you can see here, I'm giving you Bible. This isn't cap. It's no cap in my rap. I'm giving you Bible. They're here. What you need is discernment, because you need to know who's who. I don't know how these angels were looking. I don't know if they kind of had a human appearance, but they were taller in stature, because the Bible does talk about there was a town where everything was big, the fruit was big, and the people were big. And I believe that the people were big because of their bloodline, because um, their ancestors or what have you, basically they were part of a bloodline where the humans were mingling with the angels, and so they everything in that town was big, including the fruit and the people. So I say all this to say, if you don't have a relationship with Jesus in these days, you are in trouble, because you're not going to be able to hear the Holy Spirit. It's getting so bad now. You need the discernment to even know who's human and who's not. I know it sounds crazy. I know. But I'm giving you Bible. I am going to end it there because I want to drop another video. Let me check my notes. I'm going to end this video with this verse here, Ecclesiastes 1:9, where it says, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." And I read to you the King James Version. Now I'm going to read to you my favorite version, which is the English Standard Version, and it is so much easier to understand. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. I hope this video gave you some revelation. If I'm talking your language, like, share, and subscribe. Push these videos into the algorithm so that other people can be blessed by this video just like you were. And I'm out until the next video. Peace.